Hi, my name is Ashish, and in this video we will see how to create security baseline in Azure. So let me just quickly log on to the portal and take it from there. I am logged on to the portal, so let me give you a brief overview. So Azure doesn't monitor security or respond to security incidents within the customer's area of responsibility. But Azure does provide many tools such as Azure Security Center, Azure Sentinel that are used for this purpose. There is also an effort to help make every service as secure as possible by default. That is, every service comes with a baseline that is already designed to help provide security for most common use cases. However, because Azure cannot predict how a service will be used, you should always review these security controls to evaluate whether they adequately mitigate risk. So in this video, we will go through a security baseline for Azure services. So what happens is like each unit will provide a checklist of things to verify about the services we are using in the architecture. So first I'm going to create an identity and access management baseline, which is also called as IAM baseline. Identity management is the key to granting access and to the security enhancement of the corporate asset. So every user that will log on to my Azure AD tenant, I would have to create an identity for them, and that is called identity and access management. On the basis of the identity that I will create, I will give access to those users or to those service principals. And to secure and control the cloud-based assets, I must manage identity and access for the Azure administrators. Some users are application developer, some of them are just applications users. And now we'll see how we can restrict the access to the Azure AD administrator portal. So let me go to my Azure Active Directory like this, and I go to my users. I would not have any because I did not create it. I only have mine account, which is your the administrator account. I go to user settings, and if you see that administration portal, it says restrict access to Azure AD administration portal, and it is set to no, right? So setting this value to yes, restrict all non-administrators uh, from accessing any Azure AD data in the administration portal, but it would not restrict such access using PowerShell on another client such as Visual Studio. And now if you want to enable Azure multi-factor authentication, you go to the default users directory, you click on new user, and you can say, I'm going to go with this example, Chris. I'm going to go with this example, Chris Green. And now if I select the roles here, right? So I click on here and I grant him global admin role like this. I select this. And if you go here, auto generate the password, create the user, and you click on create here, it's going to create the users here. So if you go to users, all users back here, so go to default directory, go to users, go to all users, and if you would click on multi-factor authentication from here, it will open up a new window. And it says for which user you want to enable a multi-factor authentication. I'm going to select Chris Green here, right? I can select bulk update as well, and I can click on enable. So it will enable the multi-factor authentication for this user. And if let's say if you want to block remembering MFA on trusted devices, so remember this thing that multi-factor authentication feature for devices and browsers that are trusted by the user is a free feature for all the multi-factor authentication users. right? Users can bypass subsequent verification for a specified number of days after they have successfully signed into the devices by using multi-factor authentication. So if I click on enable here, I click on enable multi-factor authentication, I click on close, and if I go here, I'm going to reset the password for this user. Like here, I'm going to copy it. Let me note it down. I'm going to delete this user after this lab. Right, this one, and if I open this and I open up a new window, and so my username is this, the new user that I've created with the multi-factor authentication, and I'm going to copy the password, enter the password, I'm going to click on sign in. It says more information required. Your organization needs more information to keep your account secure. I'm clicking on here, next. See, it says how should we contact you? So this is the example for the multi-factor authentication. So I say phone, I'm going to select the region here. I'm going to select India. Here it is. And I'm going to enter my number here. Okay, so after entering my phone number, I got a text message which approved my authentication. I'm click on done. I'm going to type in my current password because it will ask you to reset it. Any users, this is this. I'm going to select the new password. Make sure you remember it. I'm going to say yes. So this is how your multi-factor authentication would work, right? And you can also block the remembering of the MFA on trusted devices. For that, you go into the all users and you select the user for which you want to enable it. And then you click on manage, or you want to click on it here like this. Or do one check this. Click on here. You go into the user account. And if you go into the sign-ins, this will tell you the activity of the users. And if you want to disable that option, you go into the multi-factor authentication page and you select the user that you have created. Click on manage user settings. Restore multi-factor authentication on all remembered devices. Check this and click on save. Close. And when you talk about guest users, you go back to your Azure AD and you go to the all users. And if you go here and if you guest users would be, hold on. Okay, so if you do not have any guest user, you will not be able to do it. And you can create guest users and then you can filter the columns. And what about the password options? And with the dual identification set, an attacker would require compromising both the identity forms before they could maliciously reset a user password. And if you would go under the user settings, and if you would select password reset, and if you would go to the authentication methods, enable mobility, lower help desk volume, improve user experience, and you have to use the premium feature for the trial usage. I hope this was informative for all of you guys. If you have any queries, please mention them in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Have a good day.